And let the wind guide our way. We're the spaceman cosmic bay. From Jupiter to Saturn, we'll deliver our freight on our starship, sailing through the interplanetary strait. With a hardy crew and a cargo of dreams, through the nebula's mist we'll forge our own schemes. In the vastness of space where no man has been, we'll navigate, chart the unexplored galactic highway. Heave home, mateys, upon the starry sea. We're the spacemen sailing through infinity. With our voices loud and our spirits free, we'll voyage across the celestial sea. Voyage across the celestial sea. Through crimson skies our ship prevails. Across the stars a celestial flight, metal warriors bound by might.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this latest narration. It's a stream. My body is trying to kill me, though. Well, not body, nose. My nose is definitely trying to assault me. I don't know whether it's a flu or sinusitis, but it's definitely doing its best. Good morning, D and Valen 1. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. Well, that's good, Wolfos. You can goof off for the next couple hours, and it's not going to affect anything. Didn't even get my beard straight. Oh. So there's going to be much sniffling, sneezing, and bitching about my nose. and whatever is causing me to feel like crap. Wait, we didn't have the dwarf song. I did add it.
Digging deep in the Martian soil, searching for that precious ore, with pickaxes and heavy hearts, we're the miners of the cosmic shore. On this barren land, we march as one.
Okay. That woke me up. Oh, good. We got a bandwidth problem. That's fantastic. Are we sure it's not Monday the 3rd? As in the 3rd Monday in a row. No, the moustache doesn't do too much. I think it's just sinusitis, not sinusitis. Hay fever or a flu, quite honestly. So, I mean, that leads to not a great night's sleep, which leads to not great voice. Thank you, Wolf58. It's much appreciated. Gets it out the way. Shows off the scar. So, like freaking people out with the scar. Excuse me. I do apologize for all the clearing of the throats and sniffing and stuff. I can't mute the mic for all of that, unfortunately. Okay, so that was our 4 songs that we've generated for the channel. People are streaming in. What is today? Today is Wednesday. Oh, monetization is turned off. That's great. Turn it back on. Yes, it would. I'm pretty sure it's hay fever. I think there's a plant or a tree in this house, in this new house, that is seriously affecting me, because I didn't have this bad hay fever in the last house. So it's something in this area that's specifically affecting me. Or it's a side effect of the sinus surgery, which would be a little daft, if you ask me, but typical with my luck. But we have coffee. No, we don't. I'm out of coffee. But I do have caffeinated water and more caffeinated water and a Monster and a half-finished Monster. Ooh. It's the see-through Monster and has the invisibility potion in it. Yeah, I mean, it could be an interesting story, Deuce. Ugh. I mean, last night, just before bed, I took 2 doses of antihistamine. And it worked for about 6 hours. Actually, probably less. Yes. Invisible. This is quantum energy. It's so small you can't see it. And this is Monster Quantum. It's the new flavor. Quite expensive, but, you know, it's worth it to imbibe the secrets of the universe into your soul. A lot easier than doing it with a book. I mean, I find the book quite chewy and gets stuck. All right. Hello? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Right. Right. Just making sure everything is working. Maybe. Twitch is working. YouTube is working. This is all awesome. Ugh. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. Why? Why is it going to be one of those? I know why. For some reason, the backup is running again. But I haven't changed the times. I haven't changed anything. Excuse me. So I don't know why it is now causing problems. I suppose the answer is because it can. Okay, that should be stabilized. I don't think today's stream is going to be too long. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Busy trying to psych myself up to actually work. But first, we need to wait for YouTube to make sure that the upload speed is fine. Good morning, Lord Volpix. I hope you're doing well. No? Still angry with me? Why is it still angry with me? Nope. Okay, we're back. We're back! We're back. I think. Fair enough, Robodiah. It is elixir. It is a potion. It is all of the above. It is quantum. Therefore, it's in all states all at the same time, or something. Right. Pew, pew, pew. Pew. Maybe I need to do the usual sci-fi, free science fiction. Fiction and HFY narration. Right. Thank you, Deuce. It's just one of those mornings. Fair enough, D? Yes. You can and can't see me at the same time. If you blink really fast, you'll be able to see me. Not a problem, Lord Volpex. Not a problem at all. Okay. Looks like today is going to be a quiet day, for some reason. Okay. I think we've given everybody enough time to wander in. It's been 15 minutes. Although I did start 5 minutes early. Getting stuff ready. Because, as the famous queen once said, the show must go on. Or should I say, the famous queen, Freddie Mercury said, the show must go on. And who am I to argue with him on this particular thing? Or at all. I mean, arguing with him would be a bit moot, I would say. Righty. Human spells are immoral. Haven't read the story, I just picked it randomly. Because my brain functions are not great. Nope, I already done that. Do. That reminds me, I need to post the thing to the Discord server. And then close the Discord server. Because why not? And what am I doing? You and you. Yes, yes! We will be able to do this. Thankfully, it's not too long of a story. It's a 13-minute story, so within the realms of doable. Fair enough, Wolfos. Wolfos. Fair enough. That's not a bad problem to have. Means you're enjoying the story. M2. Old man voice. M1. 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 M2. Good morning, AJ. I hope you're doing well. I think we'll go with... I'm fine, wizard with a Cockney accent funny. So we'll go with that. Good morning, Captain No Name. Hope you're doing well. M5. Which the argument could be made that all magic is immoral. Something like that. M5. Okay. M1. M2. M1. Not M1, M5. M1. Oh, my sinuses are itchy. Fun. I want to take a bottle brush and just scratch my sinuses. Which I know would be wrong. Well, not wrong. Dangerous. Painful. And all of that. But at least the itch would be gone. M2. M1. 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 Lots of M1s. Fair enough, Captain Learning. It could always be worse. I wouldn't even know where to look for that, Deuce. I haven't seen any on the HFY channel, and I haven't specifically looked for those stories. So maybe I should. It's a mental note for later. A mental note that I'll write down because there is no mental to note. Hell Divers Story Fiction. Yeah, so single voice narration is easier on the voice. So I just use my normal voice. It's not really whether I enjoy it or not, or like it, it's just easier. Sometimes I do enjoy doing the voices, but at the end of the day, that does put more strain on the voice. Good morning, Mackenzie. I hope you're doing well. Haven't played it, AJ. Quite simply, it is a kernel level anti-cheat, and I do not play with games that have kernel level anti-cheat. So, if I had to play it, I would have to buy a separate computer, or a computer that could handle a virtual machine and play it, which I think doesn't work currently. And I don't play games enough for it to warrant, or on stream enough, to warrant setting up a remote PC, or secondary PC, for kernel level anti-cheat. It looks fun. F1. Yeah, M1. M1's the easiest voice for me to do. It's just my narration voice. Halfling. Oh, I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir. But we're already using Cockney. I think we'll use Snively. Oh, not Snively, Cowardly.
No, sure. Run out there into plain view and get roasted even quicker. Or worse, eaten and slowly digested over a few days.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Female voice 1. Female voice 1. Male 5. This is Snively voice, Cowardly voice. And 5. golem. Okay, we'll go with M10 for the golem. Or golem, whatever you want. M5. It's going to be a full range of voices for the story. Yippee. Excitement to be had. M5. M1. M5. M1. F1. Sorry, I'm not particularly chatty. My brain is running on safe mode. M5. M1. F1. M5. F3. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. F1. M5. M1. I'm sorry, kitty cat. Am I in your way? Nope. Yep, that's the bed. I'm gonna sit down. Of course. Just needs to do some baking, and then it'll lie down. Stare at me defiantly. M2. M5. M2. M5. M1. I love the fact that there's lore being built around the scar on my throat. Carry on. That's all I can say. Sounds funny. M2, I think. M1. M3. And M5. Okay. Sit up straight. Straight in uniform. Drink some forbidden juice. Oh. And that hits the spot. Not a problem. As long as the book's running, I really don't care. Keeps the chat and the algorithm happy. And if it keeps you guys happy, I'm happy. The old saying that if you keep your customers happy, your business will do well. If the chat is happy, the stream will do well. In my opinion. Even if the numbers aren't there, if the chat's happy, I'm happy. Excuse me. Alright. We're going into streaming mode. Streaming mode. Proceed. Shrink. Okay. Close that. Move that. Open this. Yes, Anthony, I decided to go with a bit of the Norse look and to show off my scar, but this uniform hides it. I'm very disappointed in this uniform. I want to show the scar, although when I had the uniform I didn't have the scar, so that's that. But it's, see, nicely hidden away there. Good morning, Paul. I hope you're doing well. I am doing meh. Recovery is going well for the voice. However, I have hay fever like you would not believe, which messes around with the voice. So I'm a bit grumbly, scatterbrained. I didn't get much sleep. But the show must go on, so must I. But how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Alright. For some reason, it's very quiet tonight. Not complaining, just pointing it out. It's very odd. Good morning, James. I hope you are doing well today. We're about to start the recording. We're in recording mode. Now we're in recording mode. Everything is. Video is recording. Audio is recording. Hello, audio. And away we go. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called Human Spells Are Immoral, written by Yellowclad. The Council of Magic slowly filtered into the cavernous room slowly. Why did it say slowly twice? Why isn't fair? The Council of Magic slowly filtered into the cavernous room slowly. Wizened faces, bearing centuries of magical knowledge and expertise, turning this way and that, as they observed the throng of common witness that were to observe the special session. It wasn't every day that the council sat in trial against one of their own, so this would be a special occasion for the common citizenry. The head of the council, an elf by the name of Vicerin Fiestora. The head of the council, an elf by the name of Vesrine. The head of the council, an elf by the name of Vesrine Faesatra, slowly settled down in his seat and snapped his fingers, triggering a bell toll to ring throughout the chamber. Immediately, the not-so-quiet chatter of the common folk and the other council members died down. "My friends and colleagues, we are gathered here today to determine what is to be done about one of our esteemed council members. The charges levied against him are few, but serious and quite rare. Bring in the accused," he said, his voice clearly heard by all. A set of doors opened at the far end of the room, and all eyes turned to face them. A man in fine black and purple robes was brought in, magic-suppressing shackles upon his wrists and arms, and he was escorted by a pair of knights with the Winter Legion. From the Winter Legion, though they were more commonly known as mage hunters. The robed man was none other than Trerick the Ironclad. The robed man was none other than Trerick the Ironclad. This title had been bestowed upon him at the Battle of Carati, where his defensive magics had held the entire right flank against the demon hordes. It is also what elevated him to a position of high standing within the council. Yet, even the added responsibilities he had joined an adventuring party, never one to truly settle down for any amount of time. Speaking of, as he made it a good ways into the room, his party followed, disarmed, of course, and shuffled off to a special booth typically reserved for family members of the accused. Since Trerick didn't have any living members, they would have to do. Wes Ryan waited for the robed human to stop at the center of the room before he stood, looking down his crooked nose imperiously, while all the humans stared up at him, a mad glint in his eyes. "Grand Wizard Trerick the Ironclad, you stand accused of not only creating wildly immoral spells, but also of utilizing them. How do you plead?" He spoke, and Trerick sniffed, clearing his throat. "Guilty," he said, his voice echoing as a collective gasp was given by the crowd. His party all groaned and slumped in their seats, the only other full-time magic user of the group burying their face in their hands. "Yet the argument could be made that all magic is immoral," he added, and the councillors all looked confused. Something to discuss later." Wes Ryan shook his head and raised a hand, calling for silence, and he received it almost immediately. "So, you do not deny the charges? You would not even defend yourself?" he asked, and Trerick shrugged. "I don't see why I have to in the first place, sir. It's not like I'm running around using these spells willy-nilly now, am I? I used it once and in a very specific situation. I can even prove it." Wes Ryan's eyes narrowed, but knew from the reports he'd received from others that had witnessed the event in question that Trerick was not lying. "Very well. We shall see things as they transpired from your point of view." Wes Ryan raised a hand and gave it a slight flick, metal columns studded with crystals rising up around Trerick. Once in place, they activated, mana flowing through them and creating a link between his mind and mana projector. Above his head appeared his memories, jumbled at the moment, but as Trerick closed his eyes and focused, the image resolved themselves into the beginning of the incident. There was naught but fire and ash, screams of wounded and dying adventurers. The air was thick with the stench of burned flesh, and molten metal flowed freely into wounds or onto the ground. A roar split the air, the deep bass of an elder dragon. It wasn't just an average elder either. It was the elder dragon, Itaya. He needed no epitaph, no dark title. His name alone was enough to instill terror amongst any who heard it. It was this dragon that a contingent of adventurers and knights had been tasked with slaying, a task that many now felt was impossible. Though thick black smoke obscured the bright light of day, the shadow of the dragon's sword overhead made it all the darker. What warriors that remained doing their best to remain out of sight. Their initial plan of sneaking up on the dragon had gone to crap rather quickly. As before, they'd even made it to the lair of the beast. It had been upon them, as though it knew exactly their intentions. While they had put up a valiant effort, it had meant little against the searing, sticky flames the dragon spewed forth. Magic seemed to have little effect against it, and arrows never once found a chink in that scaly armor. Trerick huddled with his party under a large rock, casting an annoyed yet distant look towards the sky as another roar filled the air.
We can't stay here. Eventually that thing is going to land and roast us all,
Celia hissed, clutching her sword firmly. She was the group's resident elf, and leader of their party as well. An old elf, for certain, though her appearance begged to differ.
Oh, sure. Just run out there into plain view and get roasted even quicker, or worse, eaten and slowly digested over a few days. That sounds like a really good idea. Let's do it. That sounds like a really good idea. Let's do it.
The halfling Zalsa was his name. He was a reformed cutpurse, or so he said. If any of them needed something that was dubiously legal, he would always manage to acquire it somehow.
Well, do you have any better?
Well, do you have a better idea? Celia spat, and Zalsa grimaced before shaking his head. Another chorus of screams filled the air as Attire made another run, bathing a huddled group in flames. The party grimaced, Trerick included, though his gaze remained fixed upon the sky.
Trerick, any ideas?
Not really. I might have one if I knew the sex of the beast, but it's hard to determine that from here, Trerick said, and for a moment the slaughter around them faded as the party stared at him in bewilderment.
The sex? The hells would you need to know that for?
Zelsa said, Trerick sighing. Some spells work better on certain sexes. I'll have you know, he retorted, and the third member of the party shook a somewhat bouldery head. Oh, but magic is useless against those scales. Spells just bounce off them or get absorbed, said Bark, the group's tanky golem. Why, yes, I already knew that when I watched my perfectly good lightning bolt get deflected and annihilate that poor sheep. These spells don't attack the outside. They attack the inside. Very specific parts of the inside, mind you, Trerick explained, only for the collar on his robes to get grabbed by Celia as she pulled him close.
Then cast the damn spell already,
she yelled, casting a look towards the sky as the dragon made another pass, and it appeared as though they'd been spotted. Tell me the damn sex of the bloody dragon, then, Trerick yelled back, his patience now thoroughly expanded. Meal! The rest of the party responded, and Trerick threw himself out from cover, standing and raising his staff towards the dragon that now dove towards them. Stera corrupt! Trerick nearly screamed, the end of his staff blazing a rich violet for a brief moment before the dragon choked on his roar and plummeted to the ground like a stone hurled by the gods. The beast slid, leaving behind a deep furrow in the ground before coming to a halt with a keening groan. The four limbs of the dragon slid under it, clutching between its rear legs and shuddering violently, even as its eyes rolled in their sockets and it seemed to dry heave a few times. The survivors, what few there were, left the safety of their hiding places and gathered around the incapacitated dragon, looking in confusion while Trerick looked quite pleased with himself. His party gathered around him, Celia motioning at the dragon with her sword and looking at another party. They nodded and moved forward to finish the dragon off.
What did you do to him? She asked,
and Trerick chuckled. Simple. I gave something precious of his a little twist, he he said, and they just looked at him confusedly. To put it simply, I twisted his balls. Immediately, Zalsa and the man close enough to overhear cringed and squirmed uncomfortably. Even Cilia looked a bit mortified.
And, you've just been sitting on the spell the entire time. Why haven't you used it before now?
Well, it is a particularly nasty way to fight, isn't it? I figured it was a good spell to hold in reserve, for when it was really needed. Besides, I wasn't really sure it'd work.
Yeah, okay. And why didn't you know he was a he from the beginning?
Zalsa asked, adjusting his breeches a bit, as if he was still uncomfortable with the thought of balls being twisted. Listen, I study magic, not dragons. Besides, all the stories always assume the dragons are male until proven otherwise. For all I knew, the beast could have been a very angry lady, Trerick snapped.
And if it was a very angry lady?
Well then, I would have had made her uterus implode.
Now
it was Cilia's turn to shuffle about uncomfortably, while everyone else just groaned. The memory faded, and everyone save Trerick's party looked at him with barely disguised horror, several men even doing their best to subtly hide their testicles from sight, as though they'd actually saved them from his horrible spell. As though they'd actually saved them from this horrible spell. Vess Ryan sat dumbfounded, a horrified expression on his face before he looked down at Trerick as the metal pillars receded. I don't even know where to start, he stammered. He just witnessed the dirtiest, nastiest spell he'd ever seen, and worse, it was suggested that Trerick had come up with another one as well. Trerick simply grinned and rocked back and forth on his heels. I thank you would be nice. Hey, thank you! You have created an abomination of a spell, too! In fact, this cannot go unpunished. It's simply not allowed. It goes against the very core principles of our council and yet, they aren't the worst spells I've created, but decided I would never ever use. Why, if you knew half the things I dreamt up while in one of my many trances, you'd probably start resembling your age. Be thankful that the worst I've actually done is twist the testicles of a dragon that was trying to kill everyone around me, myself included, Trerick interjected, causing a series of winces to ripple through the audience. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get a nice pint of ale and a smoke, and you can kick me out of the Cool Kids Club if you wish, but I don't care. I never liked this place anyways. Vess Ryan just stared, then sighed. He didn't want to know what dark and twisted secrets Trerick had cooked up, and it's not like those spells had been used on anything except a dragon. Perhaps it would just be better to try and forget about it for the time being. Very well, knights, release him. He's free to go, the elf said, with a voice filled with defeat. Trerick's grin only grew wider as the knights removed the shackles and released him. Handed his staff and the rest of his gear, the wizard made his exit, his party in tow. Zalsa practically ran to his side, grinning cruelly.
Hey, guess what? Word got around the venturing guilds, and you already have a new nickname,
he said, causing Trerick to look down at him curiously. Zalsa motioned for him to bend down so that he could whisper in his ear, and so the wizard did so. Those who remained in the hall were promptly treated to a very loud exclamation from him. I shall not be called Torsion Master Supreme! End of story. Alrighty, let's go back to non-recording mode. Okay. Thankfully, I managed to get through that. suppose 5 years of forcing my body to do this helps. Because everyone knows that if your body's not cooperating when you want to work, you just bully it. Until it does. Although my eyes look horrible. Looks like I've been snorting salt with my eyeballs. Good morning, Redvex. Hope you're doing well. George, so the background is for when I'm not specifically recording a video. The blue screen, or green screen, on the video editing software is better than OBS. So when I record the video, I have to do it with the green screen visible. It's also why I don't read chat at that time, because I'm reading the story. And then in between, when I'm not actually recording a video, I use the background. So that's the reason why there's no background. Unfortunately, with OBS, I can't have two different scenes, one streaming and one recording. So I have to do it on the stream, if that makes sense. But let me catch up with the chat. Ooh, something happened. I got a follower. Yes. Long live chaos! Yes! Okay. For Twitch Scam You. That's awesome. Thank you for the follow. It is very much appreciated. Sports betting, scam. Cool. The follow is very much appreciated. And in response to that, sports betting equals scam fixed match. Hello, hell doesn't exist. Don't be afraid of death here. That sounds very much like a bot. How do I ban? No? Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Ban. Block. Thank you for the follow, and in response, you get a block. Anyway, getting back to chat. Chit-chat. Chinwag. Gollywag. Okay. Helldivers, what's your opinion on bots and bugs? Good morning, Paul Ross. I think I said that already. James. Right. Thank you, Paul Ross. I've got more than enough scars, and I don't really care. I've got scars that are visible, scars that aren't, and it doesn't really bug me either way. My ENT is actually more concerned about my scar than I am. For some strange reason, through my youth and up until now, I heal pretty quickly from physical wounds, but I scar exceptionally easy as well. So it's a two-edged sword. Yes, Redvex, I do burp. Thank you. Especially when drinking the elixir. I have to dispel the expended nanites. Okay, so there is a thing on the Discord based on the story. Redvex, hi. Yeah, sleeps for the dead, and for those that are tired, and then those that need it. Yes, the beatings shall continue until morale improves. That is, not Monty Python, that is Rowan Atkinson. Skit. The Crimson Fecker. Welcome. Thank you for popping past. It's very much appreciated. I wasn't paying attention. I do apologize for that, but you popped in the middle of a story, so I do apologize. Now you have my attention. Very limited attention today, but it's still here. Yeah, cats are like that. Well, it's heading into winter here, so the cat is a heat-seeking missile at this point. Good morning, RVB. Hope you're doing well. I'm glad I got a chuckle. Fair enough. I mean, I think I only got like 4 hours of sleep. What does my watch say? He reckons that I had crap sleep. I didn't need a piece of technology to know that one. Alright. So, my professionalism managed to make it through. Many years of bullying my voice into doing what needs to be done. Well, a job's a job. I've done some particularly not great jobs. Not great smelling jobs, but you know, if it pays the bills, it pays the bills. Nothing to argue about. I'm not one of those people that look down on any job, really. I've done everything from manual labor to retail to corporate. So I've run the gambit of jobs. The labor one was quite bad. Well, dirty. Because we were cleaning up an abandoned property. It was like a 3-story building. So there was lots of dodgy stuff there. Awesome, Red. A barbecue. We call it a braai here. Although it depends. Well, you know, it's called a braai here. Braai. A traditional braai is a charcoal braai, but some people do use gas. Gigantic good day. I hope you're doing well. On this fantastic Wednesday. Skunk barber, I can think of worse. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with gas. Look, it's more convenient. Time-wise, it's more convenient. With charcoal, you have to, it was like an hour-long process to get the coals just right. Just perfect before you can start cooking the meat. At least with gas, it's pretty quick. So, for those of you that didn't pick up the law early on, my sinusitis, hay fever, or flu is kicking my rear end. So I've taken lots of medication to counteract this. Plumbing. There's one that's not great. It can be good and it can be horrible. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the wind, it depends on the braai. But yeah, half an hour to 45 minutes. I don't have I have a disposable braai. That's basically how not cheap I am. But I'm not going to go buy a nice big braai for a rental house that I don't plan on being in for a long period of time. At one point, we used a wheelbarrow as a braai. We had a mesh that covered it, and we just put the braai in the wheelbarrow. So dual purpose, multi-tool, if you will. That works, but the flame does give it flavor, especially if you're doing charcoal or wood. Gas, it's not too bad. There shouldn't be any flavor from gas, so I'd imagine having the sort of the clay to absorb the heat wouldn't be too bad. But at that point, why don't you just use a stove? I'm not picking. Just to me, it was like, well, the point of a barbecue is the flames and the flavor. Also, being outside, I suppose. Yes, Paul, when I don't get my live streams demonetized, which is a 50-50 chance at this point. Google asks me if YouTube asks me, what did we say? They are putting a balanced ads, and that's medium earning potential, balanced viewer experience. So, yes, I do earn some money, but if it's too bad, I can always lower it down. It's YouTube picking when the ads go in. Thank you, Zilvara. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, as South Africans, we actually deal with halal food a lot more than most people would. If you don't know, halal food is what Muslims eat. It is, especially meat, it is blessed by a specific type of, not butcher. When they kill the animal, a specific person has to be there to bless the meat so they can be eaten. That's halal. They also don't do bacon, so they use something called macon, if you want that, which is not bacon in any way. Just for instance, we have entire food chains that go halal in certain areas because there would be a high Muslim population in those areas. But for the most part, it's pretty normal food. Except there's no bacon. Yeah, that sounds fun, Jay. It's the same as working in the seedings in South Africa, because we have very different. We don't use our seedings as attics or anything, but it is anyway. So yeah, I've been up in the seeding in 40 or 35 degrees, and it was like 60 degrees in the ceiling doing work. That was just horrible. You do need a special butcher for halal food. I know this because we were looking into farmsteading at one point, and I was looking into halal food. So if you wanted to make a lot of money, you'd become a halal butcher. Not a butcher. This is, I suppose butcher is the right one. Because those guys make bank. Can't remember the exact process. Manatheria, that's called Macon with an M. It's a marketing play. They've stopped that, thankfully. They just call it beef stump something. But for a very long time, they tried to convince everybody it was just as good as bacon. And everybody who ate bacon said, not even remotely. It's not bad, it's just not bacon. No, Paul, if it's too much, I will roll it back. As I said earlier, you or chat, your experience is more important. If I keep you guys happy, that's more important to me than earning a couple extra cents. I just run it on balanced because that's the default. So if it is too much, I don't know the exact timings of it, but I think it's once every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hopefully. I'm not sure. Awesome. Banana cotton candy. Yeah, I'm not a friend of that. That's awesome. I've had wildebeest, biltong, and dryvorse. Good morning, Brian. I hope you're doing well. Ba-doom-tsh. Hey. Okay, so story time. I'm going to export that. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, good news. My house is no longer my house. It is now somebody else's problem. This is the house that we left, moved out of to fix up and sell because it was in a very dodgy area. We sold it in one day, and it's taken 5 months of paperwork shuffling to get it sorted. But as of yesterday, it is not my problem. James, I would imagine that it is too lean to make a good bacon. I could be wrong. Paul, I'm going to give you a bit of advice here. Let me just, you and me, Paul. Do not, under any circumstances, tell a South African that you eat their beef jerky, because you will be murdered. If not murdered, you will be beaten until you change your mind. Because South Africa doesn't do beef jerky. South Africa does biltong. This might sound trivial, but there's actually a different process involved. 1, beef jerky uses smoking. 2, biltong does not use smoking. Because we live in a dry as place. We don't need to smoke it. But beyond that, it is a national food. It is treasured food. And it's like saying, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a nice... a hot dog is a nice, very nice sandwich. It's worse than that, in fact. So, just a piece of advice. In real life, just say biltong. Or the South African product. But never call it jerky. Because you'll cause problems. You'll cause a war, in fact. If too many people say it, so shh. Anyways, joking. So the process is different. From what I understand, beef jerky is a combination of smoke drying and then heat drying. It's because where North America is, on average, wetter and colder than Africa. So the way to preserve it is in a smokehouse, and you smoke it, and then you get jerky. In South Africa, it is hot and dry. So you don't need to smoke it to keep the bugs away, necessarily. What you use is salt, and you hang it in a room. You can do it in your kitchen if you really want. And the heat will draw the moisture out as well as the salt. So, there we go. The more we know. Yes, masochists. Yeah, if you're just looking for a fight, you're calling it beef jerky in South Africa. Quite funny, Redvax. That is quite amusing. Okay. We've done one story today. Shall we try our luck? The next video has 2 stories, but it is also quite short. Not gonna let a little thing like, hey Viva, stop my recovery. Again. Oh. Got hell eyes at the moment. Whew. As long as you don't come with a fiddle, and we don't have to duel, I'm good. No, what do we want? We want writer. Moving this over here, we're going to this, and then we are closing this and opening this. Crusader, that concept of testicles being a delicacy is an actual worldwide thing. I think the Americans call it Rocky Mountain oysters, if my memory is correct, which is definitely an amusing way of putting it. No, copy. Damn you, copy. Well, it just goes back to the days when you didn't waste anything of an animal, whether it tasted good or not. Also, I think it's a lot of the farmers, they give or sell the good meat, so they have to eat the not good stuff. That would be probably one of the things that they would have eaten. All right. Open that. Voices. Not in my head, but in my voice. My throat. There are many voices looking to escape. Okay. Minor gripe, no capital letter in the title. But also, no, it's very, very annoying to change the title. Well, it's not annoying. You can't change the title on Reddit. Right, M1. Liver and onions is fine. Problem with liver and onions is it needs to be cooked right. And a lot of people cook it wrong. And it doesn't taste nice, wrong. But if it's cooked right, perfect. Liver and onions, num num. One of the ones I won't eat again, I have tried it, is tongue. Not my favorite. I do not like the taste or the texture. Well, I mean, liver's got a whole bunch of... it's recommended if you have, like, iron deficiency, you need to eat liver. So, and I enjoy it. It depends very much on the way it's cooked. For most of my life, I didn't enjoy it, but every time I tried it was apparently at a very bad place. But my wife cooks a very mean liver and onion, although I can't have the onion anymore. Fair enough, Deuce, fair enough. I don't know. I don't like the taste of cooked wine. So, it's never really been my favorite. Thank you, Justin. It's very much appreciated. My voice is a little under the weather today because of hay fever, so it's not normally this grumbly, I think. Well, from my perspective, it might be different for you guys because you're listening through a computer. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. Sensor officer. So the captain is a female. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, the ever rusty trusty female voice 1. Good morning, George. I'm glad you enjoyed the story. M1. This one will be like a 7-minute, and then we'll have an addendum and an additional story of about 3 to 4 minutes. So, that should be awesome. And then I can goof off and stuff. And 3. F1. M2. Greetings, Admiral Vostrium, Volgelman Koismos. Yep. That sounds like an Admiral voice. No, she doesn't like streaming, doesn't like recording videos. So, no, the wife/editor doesn't stream her stuff. But it's basically going through the video second by second, matching up the spoken word with the text, and slicing and dicing where need be. So, from an editing point of view, my videos aren't too bad. But the scrolling text is a lot more involved than a lot of people think. All right. F1. You too, Justin. I hope your workday goes smoothly and quickly without incident. F1. M2. F1. And it's just against the rules, James. Wood-fired pizza is by far the superior type of pizza. Good morning, Lord Frostdraken. I'm doing okay. Hay fever is kicking me in the nose, but we are soldiering through. We already done one story. Now we're going to do another one, maybe. Give me a second. I need to answer this because, you know, life. I apologize for that. It was a robo-caller. Yeah, I don't think it's... I don't know what the... Because we're going into autumn, so it's not the spring pollen of, you know, death. But I think it's something in this area. Somebody's burning something in this area, or there's a plant or tree in this area that's just not agreeing with my sinuses. There is a battle going on currently. An unseen battle. Battle of inconsequential proportions. Fair enough. Yeah, I know pine trees can be quite bad. Well, we do have a bunch of pine trees here, but they shouldn't be doing anything. Maybe they are. Don't know. It's something that's here that wasn't in my old house, because I didn't get this bad hay fever there. Or it could also just be a side effect of the sinus surgery. One never knows. I don't know. If I was a masturbator, I would tell everybody. Just because it's funny. Alright, quick story. nothing too bad. 3, 4, 5 voices, so pretty normal. On the local chords. Okay, teleprompter software, check. Recording software, check. Right, other recording software, check. I shall see you all in roughly 15 minutes. We're going to streaming mode. Hello, streaming mode. Recording. Don't have to take my glasses off. They're already off. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet, read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called We Went to Them and Walked Away, written by Shade Skira. She looked out over the control station. Her otherwise boring command of a defensive installation on a shipping lane had become a hotbed of activity as more and more Reaper and War fleets disappeared in the outer reaches of the Empire. And who was the culprit? According to Strategic Command, the Virilius. But she never trusted Command and looked at the rumors and gossip of the passing merchants. The gossip was hot indeed. According to them, a thrall race of her empire was in revolt and winning battle after battle. Their ships IFF show calls for vengeance and war. Primates from some backwater the merchants wouldn't even think of shipping to. However, all of them spoke of the primates as kind and friendly, oftentimes demanding a single scan before sending them on their way. She thought it over, uncomfortable with the idea that these primates were letting her allies' merchants through, even as they waged war on her people. The food ships, too, had halted, along with every major resource her empire's colonies provided. The stockpiles in the center of the empire are more than enough to last for a millennia, but the nobles, such as herself, hate rationing.
Ma'am, we have an incoming arrival signature. Count at 45.
A sensor officer said quickly. She groans. She doesn't have a fleet. She has a station. Yes, a powerful and heavily armed station, but still an immovable and static object.
Power shields to full and activate the secondary and tertiary generators, and send a data burst to Central Command for immediate reinforcement.
She barked back, her eyes reading the names of the ships entering her sector of the Empire, teeth clenched tight as she recognized some presumed lost cruisers from the Reaper fleet that vanished a month ago, to the battle dreadnought that was part of the last war fleet. That lost contact with Command. Her mind noticed a pattern in the naming scheme. Every captured ship of her people was renamed with some kind of insult to her empire, and every ship of her enemies was named in a vengeful manner. This isn't a revolt. It was a thrall race fighting back. But why? From where?
Ma'am, we are being hailed,
the communications officer said in confusion.
Put it through. I will see my opponent's eyes and judge their merit.
She said back and watched her terminal flicker to life with the image of a primate. The computer identified as a seeded thrall race from PS328C. Greetings, Admiral Vostrium Volgelmon Klosmas, the primate said with a wide smile. I am Admiral Kenji Watanabe. I am under order to deliver the United Earth's terms to your Emperor. We grow bored of your arrogance and inability to put up a fight. We are willing to make peace, the primate said. His tone and voice sounded tired and uninterested.
Bold of you to presume that you can defeat us. The forces you have been picking off are barely full fleets, but small detachments from our main force,
she says back with a snarl. She hates it already, for it to sound so underwhelmed by the sight of her station was irritating to her.
I will command. I will commend you on accomplishing this much. To have succeeded in eliminating 7 fleets is impressive for your backwater monkeys. Is impressive for you backwater monkeys.
Really? The primate asked, seemingly shocked and confused. You think kicking your rear in space dust would be hard for us? You think kicking your rear into space dust would be hard for us?
Of course. I will congratulate you on figuring out space travel and FTL technology, even if you reverse engineered it. But your effort to deny your purpose is over. Surrender, and I will personally see to your race's ethical and fair treatment as honored thralls instead of the common grunt, she said, making no plans to honor such promises. Her eyes darted to the countdown for the reinforcement fleet from Central. Their arrival vector, hidden behind the moon her station sits beside. Oh, wow, that sounds so tempting, the primate says, then orders someone off screen, call the rest of the fleets, it looks like we're going to do this the hard way, before it disconnects. It looks like we're going to do this the hard way, before it disconnects the hail. Her eyes go wide in fury. Was she just ignored? Her attention was broken as a tactical display starts to beep as more and more arrival signatures ping into existence. The count of incoming ships from the same vector as the primates grew steadily as their battle line stretched wider. Her heart beat faster and faster as the count surpassed her reinforcements, and she ordered in a small panic, Database Central, we're about to engage in an invasion force. Her order was about to be carried out when the station rocked. Ma'am, they just took out the long-range transmitter, the engineering officer said. It was a dual kinetic attack from the flagship, milliseconds apart. Her eyes went back to the tactical display as an armada of 400 ships was idling in the void of her sector. Even if the ship of the primates were half the size of her people, the range and firepower each possessed was far greater than she imagined. She swallowed hard as her mind raced not for honor, but for survival. A disgusting thought of giving in to the primates' demands sent a chill down her spine. Ma'am, they are heeding us again,
the communications officer said, clearly shaken by the precision and firepower of the primates. Clearly shaken by the precision and firepower of the primitive apes. She nodded and waited as the image of the primate came on again. Choosing to be first to speak, she cut the primate off.
You have made your point, monkey. I can see now why you don't fear us. But the Golden Armada of the Throne World will not suffer any damage from your weapons, and they will destroy you unless... She swallowed, unable to believe that she was about to make such a treasonous offer. You have a noble speaking on your behalf on your ship.
The Golden Armada, the primate asked. The Golden Armada, the primate said, putting up some kind of crude data storage device, swiping its finger on it. Oh yeah, 500 ships, mostly supercruisers, and supported by a halo, a high-power orbital ring around your homeworld, armored and armed to the teeth. That Golden Armada, I asked. It asked. She nodded slowly. Yeah, let me make this clear. We will not be entering your home star system, because we don't need to kill your empire, the primate said with a small apologetic smile. See, we are here to make you deliver our demands. Failure to comply will result in the deployment of a superweapon into your home star system that will destroy everything in that space sector, it said far too coldly to be a lie. She went pale, not expecting such a brutal and honest response. We pick you as our messenger because you are the Empress's sister. So here is the deal. Peace and eradication. Peace or eradication. And remember this. The weapons I used to knock out your long-range transmitter was a basic weapons platform on our warships. So you can just guess how accurate we are with our actual big guns, the primate added quickly. She sunk into her throne, her mind reeling from the idea of actually asking the Empire to recognize these apes as equals, if not superior. Her hand hesitated
Her hand hesitantly opened the file the Empire had on them and drew a shaking breath as the file ended its active recording during the height of an ape called Alexander and his conquest. Her mind realized her kind were unable to reap them at their threshold, and they had achieved a theorized possibility, a thrall race meant for war that didn't obliterate themselves with nuclear fire. Her will was shaken, her mind understanding the gravity of the situation and the danger this ape posed. But she filled her lungs and looked up with a determined look. What are your terms, human? The primate smiled. Why, nothing much. I'll transmit our demands now. End of story.
All right. I'll just go back to background mode. Alrighty. That was story number 1. Story number 2 should be a short one. And then I think the narration's done for the day. I'll leave my voice to go sulk in the corner. It's fair enough, Lord Frostraken, but longer stories means more narrating, which means less stories narrated. So I normally cut off stories at about 20 minutes long. Just so that I can keep the pace of stories. Snooty voice. M1. I don't know. M10. M4. M6. M13. M3. M4, M4, Fair enough, Lord Rushdraken. I'm glad. It's always nice to have the authors narrate their own stories. They're more connected with it, so I think they can give them a lot more feeling than I can. Even though I do try my best, I'm not as connected to the story as the author is. M4. M3. M4. M3. M3. Yeah, I mean, it's a difference. I'm a professional narrator, but there is always a disconnect. I don't write the story, so I'm not connected with it in like a very deep level, even though I do try my best to give everything I have to every story. M4. M3. M4. M4. M3. No? Yes. M4 and M3. Nice short story. Not too bad. And M3. Narration. No, don't click there. Right. Recording mode activated. Each year activated, actually. Okay. Story number 2. The Most Terrifying Ships of the Galaxy. Written by Rednil97. Captain Troll sat down in the command chair aboard his ship, the Glorious Conquest. Captain Troll sat down in the command chair aboard his ship, the Glorious Conquest. It may be just a picket line frigate, but it was his command, and by the Emperor, he had earned it. He took a sip of a freshly brewed brawn on his cup before giving the order everyone already expected. Status report? One by one, his subordinate officers responded. All ship's systems are show green. Sensors detect no unexpected vessels in our volume of operation. Main command reports size and location of enemy fleet unchanged. Ground command reports only minor skirmishes with enemy ground forces. Troll nodded. So no relevant change in situation, that's good too. Incoming wormhole, sir. He was suddenly interrupted by the officer occupying the sensor station. 3 holes, human IFF, but that doesn't make sense. We're at war. We're at war with humanity, currently in high orbit over one of the contested planets. Of course it makes sense. Condition 0, call the crew to battle stations. That's not what I meant, sir. The size of the throats and the wormholes indicate dreadnought type, or comparable. But according to the energy readings, the ships can't weigh more than a heavy destroyer, or maybe a particularly light cruiser.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say that they are commercial super frigates. But, as I said, that doesn't make sense, the officer replied. No, it doesn't unless, Oh no! Can you confirm their Oh no! Can you confirm their designations? Not yet, but I should any second now. Here. The UNHS Mercy, the UNHS Hoffnung, and the UNHS GU. UNHS, never heard of that one before. According to the computer, it means United Nations Hospital Ship. This time the captain did the interrupting. Immediately send a message to main command. Top priority, for immediate consideration. Make sure to confirm it arrived. The addressed officer responded immediately. Message sent and arrival confirmed. But if I may, wouldn't a normal message have sufficed? Well, yes, they aren't allowed to attack them by galactic law. They also have to be unarmed, so, what's the danger? The danger does not lie in the ships themselves, but in what their arrival means for the current situation. You see, each of these vessels is capable of treating up to 15 million injured personnel, with over 2 million emergency surgery bays. Even the presence of a single one of these ships means the humans are expecting a hell of a lot of casualties. But 3 of them, that means they are expecting an attack on a planet-wide scale. Yeah, I wasn't aware that we were planning for a mass assault. That's because we aren't, and considering the quality of human spycraft, they would know that too. But if we don't plan on attacking, that would mean they do. End of story.
All right. Disengage recording mode. Right, there's actually some editing to be done. This should be quick. Nice, short and sweet. Oh, good. There's a smudge on my glasses. Seems to be a daily thing. Probably all the taking on, putting or taking it on. Or putting it on and taking it off, whichever way you prefer. Fair enough, Lord. I mean, dying cell phone is a dying cell phone. Rather save the battery in case you need it. Alrighty. The one's edited.
Digging deep in the Martian soil, searching for that precious oil. With pickaxes and heavy hearts, we're the miners of the cosmic shore. On this barren land, we march as one, unearthing treasures under the sun.
Right, we just need to generate some background for those 2 videos. But first, some caffeine.
grit and determination. We push ahead for Mars, hidden riches, we're truly bred. We're truly bred.
Imagine outer space in the future. I have the same prompt every day, and I get a different result every day. Simple. Not too convoluted. Paul Ross, no and no. I haven't received any. Remember that YouTube and being a YouTuber is still very niche, so industry people wouldn't know I exist. And I don't apply for it because I already have a full-time job, which is this. So, yeah. I mean, if I got offered something, I'd just consider it, just for a laugh. I mean, we often conflate size of a YouTube channel to normal people knowing something. But I mean, there are people in this world that don't know who Mr. Beast is. And he's the largest YouTuber in the world. Arguably more popular than a lot of actors. But most people know actors rather than YouTubers. Although I think that's changing now with a new generation. No, Lord, I haven't worked with any other YouTubers. I've done some voice stuff for random viewers, D&D project, RP servers, stuff like that, but it was very limited. Again, I wouldn't mind it, but 2, 3, 1. But yeah, I mean, dealing with other YouTubers is also has its own problems. Well, not problems, just like as a YouTuber, you want clout because that means money, and you have to be very careful with who and you deal with and why you deal with people. Not great, but unfortunately the truth. Alrighty, backgrounds generated. Now we can do some thumbnails, yay. Well, I think the problem is me going and looking for them is kind of like begging for clout, which isn't great for me. So I normally just sit back. I know you have to actively look for these things, but I always feel, I don't know, weird about it. No, George, there's no short films or anything, unless I produce it, but there's no plans for that. Yeah, very much, Jay. And I mean, I work a full-time job with this and just managing the channel and stuff. So having to then also try and get hold of YouTubers, it's a bit of a pain. I mean, I've done it before. I've tried. It didn't go anywhere. I think I asked like 10 or 20 other YouTubers of various types. And I got some responses, but mostly, like, they weren't looking to do collabs or anything. And because I've a lot of, like, Discord servers and Twitter groups and stuff like that, I probably use that as well. What's the story? Oh, excuse me. Ugh. I think if YouTube itself had some form of direct messaging, it would be easier, but they don't. So you always have to go these very convoluted ways to get to speak to a YouTuber, which is, especially from YouTuber to YouTuber, is weird, in my opinion. Twig and berries, there we go. Well, I mean, some people might think of it like views being stolen, but I think it's also, you have people that'll come to you and the only thing they want is clout. So as you become a bigger and bigger channel, you encounter those people more and more often until you get to the point where you just don't want to deal with people who are clout chasing. So even though I personally wouldn't be really clout chasing, it would just be doing extra stuff. What was I saying? Oh, extra stuff. So you deal with channels that are relatively the same size as you because they're not clout chasing off you and you're not clout chasing off of them. It's a whole social contract stuff. So it's very difficult to get a hold of certain YouTubers. Just in general. I leave like my DMs open. I've got my Discord server and all of that. But some YouTubers don't really respond to those. Or they see it and they just think it's another clout chaser. Fair enough, Lord. But I mean, you also do get to a point where you're dealing with millions of people. So you do kind of have to gatekeep in a way who you talk to, because you just don't have the capacity to talk to everyone. It's like I don't respond to as many comments as I used to, but I get thousands of comments a day, so I can't feasibly read and respond to every comment. Night Owl, welcome. Recovery is going well. Just today is a bit rough because of hay fever. But the voice is definitely getting a lot better. Oh, itchy nose. Caliburn, yeah, definitely recovering. But yeah, like I said, today I'm sounding rough because of hay fever. Tomo K77, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. It's very much appreciated. And yes, from New Zealand, from the land of the hobbits, the Hobbitseas. How are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. With energy, so to speak. So, yes, stuff is happening. I'm busy looking for an image for tonight's thumbnail. No, not tonight's thumbnail. The Dragon Story thumbnail. I want a very specific image. So getting that is a bit difficult. But we shall push on. At least not talking too much. Not sneezing anymore, but that's all the medications. No. I can go super low now, mainly because my voice is not happy. I am going for something like that, James, but getting the AI to do what I want is a bit tricky. You also don't want your thumbnails to be overly complex. So it makes it more difficult to read when it's on a smaller screen. But the title is probably going to be Humans Are Bullies. Actually, that's pretty cool. That one's pretty cool. I think we're winning. Nope. That is twig and berries. It's not what I wanted. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So we have this, which is pretty cool. Probably we would have to up the contrast. No, we can see that pretty well. That one's not too bad. That one's not too bad. This one, I like this one. This one's good. Nope. I think this one works. Easy to see what's happening. Okay. Bing. Yep, you can see that it is not a happy dragon right from the beginning. Now we need now the tricky part is the text. Human does unthinkable. Exclamation mark. Unthinkable. No, that doesn't work. And white. Humans make dragons cry. Humans make dragons cry. So we can make this a little smaller. Something like that. Move up a bit. The unspeakable curse. That's actually pretty cool. Thank you for popping around, Lord. It's understandable. If your phone is dying, then save it. And don't worry, we'll catch you the next time. Unspeakable human curse. There we go. Curve. No, curse. That's better. Unspeakable. We want to make that a bit bigger. Unspeakable human curse. And then I think we actually just want to move the dragon down a touch. To there. Yes, that works. Unspeakable in red. Red. I like that. Put a bit of blue one there for human. I think we'll go a bit lighter. Nope. Move. Go back there. Want a nice light blue. There we go. Achoooo, welcome to your first stream, I think. I hope you're having a fantastic day and that your work day and is going quickly and without event, which is the best you can ever hope for. Okay, so that was... You kind of always want to like pose a question. Thank you, Achoooo, for the kind words. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Them, rather than it. The other one, it's going to be easy. Mine's bigger! Exclamation mark. Easy peasy. Some stories just so clickbaity by themselves. Grinning human male. In the style of cyberpunk. Not a real big cyberpunk fan, but I've found with the AI, if you tell it to do cyberpunk, it does futuristic stuff. Where, well, man, there's lots of neon. It's awesome. Ooh, this could be time for some anime. Well, manga. Drawing. Not my drawing. I like to think most of us have our own unique styles. And if you enjoy my style, that's great. If you enjoy anybody else's style, that's great as well. There's nothing stopping a person enjoying multiple styles. That's why I never worry about doing the same story as other people. I'm always going to do it with my own. Yes, with my own twist, with my own thing. This works with color, I think. Cool. Paul, not a problem. There we go. Thank you for the membership, Achoooo. It's very much appreciated. Glad that I've earned that from you, and I hope to keep you entertained as much as I possibly can. Well, I try, Jay, I try. I mean, it's been years to get the style right, but I do my best. Some days, I don't achieve my best, but I do try. Good. It's afternoon, Harold. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I think that is... I mean, it's quite visible. And that is that. It is done. Although... I don't know. Color is quite... Yes, they definitely do. It's funny that I've got the sexual innuendo thumbnail on the not sexual innuendo story. Well, but that is how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Alrighty, we've been going for 2 hours, 20 minutes. Recovery's doing okay. Oh, it's going. Huh. Okay. No, I just noticed something new on the Discord server, showing information. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's just hay fever has been kicking my rear end over the last couple of days. So busy trying to get around that, but still have to work, still have to carry on. The show must go on, as the great queen once said. Alrighty. What are we doing? Just making sure nobody's trying to get my attention. Alright, chat. I'm actually did a lot better today than I thought I would. I am completely knackered, to say the least. Low energy today. Low energy. Chill. Relaxed. Snoring even. Oh no, sorry, that's the cat. That's a hardy doll. Thank you for the kind words, Jay. Much appreciated. What? My cat does snore. So does my dog. I personally don't snore, obviously. Unless you ask my wife. But I'm asleep at the time, so it doesn't really bug me. Yeah, so the background effects is something new. It seems to be mostly positively received. There are some people that prefer not to have the sound effects, but every channel reaches a size where any change will be both positively viewed and negatively viewed. I've been told to my face ruins stories and I should bring back the fish. So that was the one specific reaction to me doing a face reveal. I thought it was funny. I don't know whether it was meant to be funny, but I thought it was a hell of hilarious. All right. Shall we generate a song? Let's generate a song about the spacefaring kitty cat taking over the universe. In the style of something. Thank you very much, Wistful Odin, for the 10 gifted subs. It is memberships. It is very much appreciated. For those people who do receive one, it is randomly selected. It's not chosen by I or the person who gave it. So, be mindful and send Wistful Odin a thank you. Nick Stone, welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. It's very much appreciated that you enjoy the content, and I'll do my best. There's a long catalogue. It's over 3,000 stories. I wouldn't listen to it again. Wistful Odin. I'm neither an actor nor a narrator. I'm just a guy who likes telling people stories. For money. But I enjoy telling people stories. I'm just a guy. I wouldn't consider myself a voice actor. I wouldn't even consider myself a narrator. But that's just me. But I am glad you're enjoying the content. Fair enough, Jay, but those videos are long on the compilation channel. Fair enough, Amtrue. Fair enough. 2 years is quite a long time. I mean, it's hard to believe that we're approaching our 5-year anniversary for the channel. It's 2 months away, roughly. Mike, thank you for the kind words. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, sure, entertainer. I can go with that. Are you not entertained? No, no. I am a algorithm feeder, and that's basically it. Look, you are not my son. It's a very specific voice for Darth Vader. I mean, it's also synthesized, so very difficult to do. Oh yeah, Captain, it's always the butler. You always got to blame them first. Did you know, randomly, that there are more English-trained butlers in Korea and China than there are in England? It is a high prestige to have an English butler, so they send people over to England to train to be an English-trained butler, like the proper real deal stuff. And you can go make serious bank in Korea and or China. However, you will be accused of every crime. This is a fact if you're a butler, but hey, to each their own. You get used to it. In the beginning, I couldn't really listen to my own voice without cringing internally. But eventually you kind of get used to it. I'm still trying to get used to my face staring back at me. I mean, I'm not ashamed of my face or anything. It's just weird seeing your face all the time. It's like, no, I'm good. All right. A cat takes over the universe and then naps in the style of what am I gonna do? Style. I don't really care about fame too much, Andrew. I wouldn't even consider myself mildly famous. I know it's not what you said, but it's like, look, I got an audience. You guys enjoy my work. I enjoy doing the work. I get paid for it. You get enjoyment. You know, we're mutually helping each other out. The big problem for me is like the inconsistency for the future planning, but we work on side projects for that. And that is the most difficult part of streaming, is you've got to actually be a bit crazy, seeming from the outside, because you've got to hold a conversation with an audience that isn't there. So when you've got some chat happening, it's awesome. But when you've got no chat happening, and you're just sitting there talking to your computer, pretending that you're talking to an audience, it's rough. It really is. Yeah. Thankfully, the channel has given me a way to skip that, because, I mean, I originally started off streaming, and then moved to videos, and then now I'm streaming again. So now I've got some audience, and I don't have to sit in a room talking to myself again, more than usual. I am South African, Nick. My parents are expats. I'm first generation South African. My mom is Scottish. My dad is English from Chelsea, Wimbledon, somewhere around there. So that's where most of my accent comes from. Fair enough, Andrew. I mean, the amount of time you have to put into become a successful streamer is ridiculous. Although it's probably about the same for a YouTuber. You've got to put countless hours into it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really in the mood generally these days to play co-op. I like to live in my own little bubble, do my own thing. Because I also don't ever feel like I'm letting my team down because it's just me. Good afternoon, Kandaria. Hope you're doing well. Fair enough, Jay. Fair enough. Cheers, Crusader. I don't know. Probably not. I mean, we're in 2 hours, 2.5 hours in. Voice is starting to get a bit bleh, so probably not. Persistence is definitely something you need as a content creator. And then also being comfortable around a microphone and a camera. So it's something that people can pick up, like the tension. It also messes with your voice. That's why a lot of YouTubers and streamers sound higher pitched when they start and then go sort of slowly to a lower pitched. It's because of tension in the throat. And poor technique and crap mics. Those three things. Oh, thank you, Nick Stone. It is very much appreciated for the kind words. All right, we're still doing it in style of For the Cat Taking Over the Universe. I think we're going to go with thrash metal. Because that would be funny. Baby metal. In the style of baby metal. Yes. Yes, this is the normal time for me. It is currently 12:30 in the afternoon for me. So I stream the time I would normally work, which is 10 a.m. till whatever time, which I know is a weird time for most people. But I eventually plan on streaming for 4, 5, 6 hours. So that should catch most people at a convenient time. Fair enough, Andrew, fair enough. I mean, this is one of the big problems with time travel, time zones and all of that. It's never a convenient time for everybody. There's no singular time. The only thing you can do as a streamer to be convenient time for some people is just stream all day, which is why most of your top streamers stream for so long, as they catch their audience at different times of the day when it's convenient for them. Hell, yes, I'm back. I've been back for 2 weeks. I've been releasing one-shots. It will still be a while before I'm releasing series. Okay. That is funny. So, there is an AI song generator. Fair enough, Andrew, fair enough. So, there's a AI song generator, which is funny. We've been using it for the last couple of days. Generated some nice songs. So I entered in A Cat Takes Over the Universe by Needing a Black Hole in the style of thrash metal, and has given us a cosmic cataclysm. So it's done a pun, which is awesome. Shall we give it a listen? Let's close that here. Let's try that again. But instead of thrash metal, we'll go with heavy metal. Well, for those that don't really pay attention to this song is an AI-generated song.
We're the spacemen sail the cosmic bay. From Jupiter to Saturn, we'll deliver our freight.
Power ballad. That actually might work.
Sailing through the interplanetary strait. With a hardy crew and a cargo of dreams. Through the nebula's mist we'll forge our own schemes. In the vastness of space where no man has been, we'll navigate, chart the unexplored galactic highway. Evolve mateys upon the starry sea.
Yeah, this is kind of a sea shanty type one. And then we've got female metal. So this is also AI generated.
Through crimson skies our ship prevails. Across the stars a celestial flight. Metal warrior
Scar. That might work. Okay. So anyway, cat taking over the universe. We've got heavy metal.
With a claw shred through the astral void, a feline force of chaos. Power unalloyed, with eyes ablaze. The universe turns to dust underneath the thought that is darkness thrust. Razor claw shred through the astral void, a feline force of chaos. Power unalloyed, with eyes ablaze. The universe turns to dust underneath the positive darkness thrust. Far as dark as eternal night.
They're okay. I think metal is just a bit too hard for like background music.
In the darkest depths of space, a feline king, majestic prowess,
I think this works.
the universe would sing. A cat takes over with its cosmic might, meeting a black hole, bathing in starlight. Mesmerizing eyes and a regal crown, paws of velvet, ruling galaxies renowned. No force can tame this celestial feline, conquering all in a power so divine. Through supernovas and pulsars it roams, dreams of mice and fish, this king's heart it holds.
Yeah, Alley Cat still out anthem, yes. So you can't say in the style of a specific band. Boney M is soul music. I have no idea what genre is Boney M. What genre is Boney M? Reggae. Reggae? R&B, reggae, disco, and funk. I think disco and funk. In the style of disco and funk. Okay. Community-driven music creation via AI. This is awesome. Okay, we got some stuff. So this is... This is not bad. Good morning, or afternoon, Messiah Bostwick. Hope you're doing well. Right. Yes, yes. A cat dancing like Travolta. Very much. It's catastic. Let's go with, I don't know, broken down spaceship waiting to be rescued in the style of ska. Cantastic. Definitely cantastic. That's the second one done. Okay, this is called Rusty Rocket.
I jump through the cosmos in my rusty rocket ship, bouncing to the rhythm with a scotastic grip. Engine sputter, taking no more, lost and forgotten on this cold distant shore. Steady sail across the stars, chasing after
This isn't ska. Good morning, George. I hope you're doing well. I am the king of my own little kingdom. It's not bad, but it's not ska. Let's go with punk ska. One, there aren't enough wind instruments for it to be ska. Two, it's too peppy. Well, yeah, there's not enough wind instruments. Thankfully, I hit the microphone before I did that. Oh, hit the mute on the microphone. Yep. That was definitely not ska. This is ska. There's the trumpets. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is more ska. Although a bit skater punkish with a little bit of ska thrown into it. British punk rock, that might work. British punk rock. AKA the Sex Pistols. One amongst many. Sultans of Space. That's quite funny. Only, however, if you happen to know who Mark Knopfler is. Which I don't think many people do these days. Meatloaf. That's Power Ballad. We did a Power Ballad earlier. That's not British. Neither of these are. This is kind of British punk rock. Not much. I think the problem with punk genre is it's predicated off the singers not being able to sing well, the instruments not being able to instrument well, and everything being slightly off tune. And that's the British version of punk rock. The Nova Spark bomb that ended the war. That ended the war of the galaxy. Yes. Don't got talent, but got passion. Sci-fi drill music, which in the style of cyberpunk. This will probably synthwave, but let's just see. Cyberpunk is a visual style rather than a auditory one or a song one, but let's see what it does with that. Plexus, good morning. I hope you're doing well. We are messing about with AI song creation. Because I have no content. I've already recorded my 2 stories for the day. Brain is on idle mode. It booted up in safe mode this morning and it's just been coasting the whole day. So, using AI to entertain the masses. Nordic death metal. Marvin the Martian. I don't know whether it'll allow me to do that. Plexus, I use... I might. That's the reason why I actually paid for this service, was maybe generating some background stuff for the channel that's wholly unique to the channel. But, I mean, building a catalog of music that fits stories takes a bit of a deft hand at the prompts and takes quite a bit of time. So this is the second version of the Nova Spark bomb. Prefer the first one. Rammstein. How does Rammstein's genre? What is Rammstein's genre? It would be German metal? Industrial metal band. Fair enough, Plexus. With the amount of generating I do, the free ones don't help. So if the service is giving me a benefit, then I don't mind paying for it. Like the Gone, how's it called? Mid-Journey. Okay, so we're going with industrial metal, but what is the song going to be about? Does it need to be ridiculous? Oh, the war to save Earth. by any means necessary. In the style of industrial metal. Although, what you want to do is, if you really want to be funny, you do something like this. I don't want to say what this is, because it's funny if I don't tell you. All right, so this is our apocalyptic fury industrial music. Not Rammstein. Both of those are meh. But let's try this one. If anybody's wondering what the prompt for this one was, it's the pink tutu of death and destruction, in the style of a war song. Hey, I've done several themes today. I've done disco, I've done ska, I've done punk, metal, industrial, war song, which is just general war song. But yes, I'm more into the heavier stuff. The ferret that saved the world and took over the universe. I think we'll do this one as a sea shanty. In the style of a sea shanty. But heavy metal and all of that doesn't actually work as background music because it's too intense. Electro jazz. Ferret of the Stars.
Sailed across the black in the cosmic quest. Ferret with a heart. Sailed across the black in a cosmic quest. Ferret with a heart, the bravest of the best. Guided by the stars, he sets his eyes unfurled. A furry hero roaming round the world.
Yeah, I mean, whenever there's any weird activity on your cards, you need to immediately stop them.
With a trusty crew, sailing far and wide, ferret on a mission, he won't be denied. Through the Milky Way, he charters unknown lands, casting off the shackles, breaking free from the hands of those who doubt him. He'll prove them wrong. Ferret on a mission, singing a sea shanty song. gather round, and me hearties, and the tale I shall tell about a ferret so mighty. He conquered the swell, he sailed across the
Oh. All right. Cosmic Ferret in the style of techno instrumental. At this point, Plexus, I'm generating songs for the amusement of us all, not necessarily for stories. Meh. I only say meh because it's very difficult to differentiate the voice. This one's better. But anyways, that is 3 hours, chat. 3 hours that I didn't think I was going to be able to do. I am knackered. Drugs are wearing off. The sinuses are itchy. But we did it, chat. We made 3 hours. We narrated 2 stories. And we generated a whole bunch of dubious songs. Funny, but dubious. Yeah. I'll see you all tomorrow. What is today? Wednesday. Yep, I'll see you all tomorrow. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And it's 10 a.m. GMT plus 2. Just to make things complicated. That's my time zone. And then tomorrow we can generate some more songs. Maybe think about your ideas. Come past tomorrow. Drop a comment. And I'll see what I can do. But stories come first, obviously. Yes. What else? Any other announcements? Nah, nothing much, really. I hope you all have a fantastic one. Cheers.